Good morning, sports fans. Wes Pruitt, 4 Star Sports Media. You are sitting down at a sports buffet, generally about an hour feast of the hottest takes across the college sports world. I'm Wes Pruitt, coming to you from the SeatGeek Studios right here in Northwest Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas to be exact. We've got a plate full for you today as we're going to be diving into the NFL playoff push, NHL conference battles, NBA dominance, UFL had some offseason shakeups, get into some WWE drama, and we'll finish up with some college football conversation as we've got playoff games and more. And we've got football on right now. If you head over to ESPN, you've got the Myrtle Beach Bowl between Kennesaw State and Western Michigan. So Kennesaw State's first bowl win, first bowl appearance, and then it's the first looking for the first bowl win for Western Michigan since 2021. We appreciate everyone tuning in. As always, I do want to start with we've got a heard of it. We've got an upcoming trip planned to Mobile, Alabama for the 2026 Senior Bowl, the Panini Senior Bowl, which will take place January 31st from Hancock Whitney Stadium there in Mobile. You will be able to catch the next wave of NFL stars up close with exclusive access, fan events, and more because we will have a front row seat. We're going to be there the entire week. Head over to 4star.live now. You can check out our content. And for those of you living in Arkansas, you will hear an ad for us here at 4 Star Sports Media promoting the Senior Bowl and more. So stay tuned for that. But we've got a flyer out now for anyone who wants to assist in funding the trip, as we've got a few different packages that are very company friendly. All right, let's go ahead and jump in to the NFL. Playoff picture is heating up with just about 2 weeks left in the regular season. We got some big questions for you, and each one of these topics that we're going to discuss, we're going to bring it to you from a question perspective, and then we'll break down our answers. But the question is, who will snag the NFC's top spot? The surging Seattle Seahawks, the gritty San Francisco 49ers, or the red hot Los Angeles Rams? So we'll start there. The Seahawks are currently in driver's seat at 12-3, clinching a playoff berth, but their Week 17 matchup against Carolina could shake some things up. They've got roughly a 75% chance of holding the top spot per projections, and they've got a defense that is allowing just 18.2 points a game. I talked about the Rams, a team you really can't sleep on. Right now, they're 11-3. Really, one of the comeback stories of the year. Just on the top of the NFC West with tiebreaker edge. And this team is just really, really playing well. Over 3,500 yards for Matt Stafford. They have a 60% chance of winning the division, but things could change up. Things could happen. And we talked about other teams that could sneak up. We talked about the 49ers. They're a team that you also can't sleep on when it comes to the NFL. Let's go over to the AFC. And right now, the Broncos are dominating. Balanced attack, 28 touchdowns on the ground, which is league-wide. It leads the league. Potentially a 15-2 season, but Patriots are currently 11-3 and hot on their heels as they're projected to potentially finish around 13-4. And by the way, Western Michigan is already up 7-0 in the game. A key stat to watch, both sides, okay, especially in the NFC, is the West odds. 45% for the Seahawks, are roughly 35% for the headlines we talked about last week. We just about Patrick Mahomes. He did have ACL and LCL surgery after his injuries. The doctors are optimistic about a 2026 return, as they'll now lean heavily on their backup and their defense, even though they won't make the playoffs, which is just honestly, it's kind of odd. But when you look around the league leaders, Jonathan Taylor is incredible right now. Jackson Smith and Jigba from Seattle is tearing things up. Um, and then you look, the playoff races are just electric right now. I mean, who's in, who's out. And right now, we're starting to find some of these answers out, but we will definitely know more about all these answers by Sunday night. So that's a NFL wrap tight. Playoffs are anyone's game, and we're gonna hit a little bit of music, and then when we come back, we are going to talk a little bit. You know what? Let's just do it now. Let's just talk a little bit of NHL as we chill out, take a skate around the league. Questions to bring you into this league is: can the Carolina Hurricanes hold on to their Eastern Conference lead amid a very packed race? And will the Islanders continue to climb with their recent streak? The Hurricanes 22-9-2. They lead the East 46 points, fueled by power play, clicking at about 25% scoring, which is very impressive. Matchup tonight with Florida Panthers, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That could really test them. Florida's defending two-time champion. But then you look at it on the Islanders side, they're 19-12-3. You may say, Wes, that's not a great record in hockey. Actually, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good record. 41 points, 3-game winning streak. Strong goaltending as well from Sorokin. He's currently saving about 92% of the shots faced. They are hosting the Vancouver Canucks, and a chance to really solidify that metropolitan spot. And for the Islanders, it's a big game tonight against the Canucks. Now in the West, you have Minnesota Wild playing really well right now, battling for a wild card. A team like St. Louis, can St. Louis make a run? Right now they're struggling. They lost last night to the Rangers in overtime. Another overtime loss for the Blues. It's kind of frustrating if you're a Blues fan, but the NHL season's a long season. You saw St. Louis last year get really hot towards the end of the year and make a big run. So very interesting stuff. Speaking of making a big run, things happening throughout the year. We're at about the midway point of the NBA season. The Thunder look almost unbeatable, which obviously they're not, right? We know that. And then, can the Lakers continue to play well? We saw Luka last night drop, 30-something points? Western Kentucky is now up 14-0, 13-0. Wow. Lakers are 19-7 on the year. We got a comment here. What is this? Jonathan reposted the stream. Appreciate it, man. Lakers 19-7, top for third in the West with the Spurs climbing thanks to LeBron James' triple-double threat. He's got 5 of those this month, by the way. Tough stretch against the Clippers and Kings loom, but like I said, Luka continuing to play well. Over in the East, the Pistons, like our grandparents' Pistons, are 21-6 right now. Kate Cunningham dropping about 20 points a night. The Knicks are another team to keep it 18-7. Boston's having some injury issues. 15-12 right now for the Celtics. And then you look at this Thunder team, plus 15.2 net rating is historic. It's massive. The Lakers have won 12 of the last 15. Knicks and Raptors could reshape the standings as well. Let's take a quick jump over to a little bit more football. We're going to get into the UFL. It's the United Football League. Spring football is heating up in the offseason. And my question is, what could this league have done during the offseason to create a buzz, to create more eyes on the league? And they've done 2 things. Number one, they're hiring former players in areas that have had college teams, right? Like look at Columbus, you look at Birmingham. Both of those teams just hired new coaches as Ted Ginn Jr., former Ohio State icon, takes over as the head coach of the Columbus Aviators, new team this year. And then A.J. McCarron, former Bengals quarterback, Alabama legend, will take over as the head coach of the Birmingham Stallions after Skip Holtz stepped down. I don't. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, I don't know. I mean, AJ McCarron's never been a head coach. Uh, he's probably gonna have to change some of the things he does now. I don't know. I don't know if he can go on podcasts and trash people like he has. Um, the training camp start in February. Free agency has already sent over 19 DC Defenders players hit the market, which is shaking up parity across the league. It's expanding to new teams, new gear. 2025, we saw some changes, right? What will happen? Will AJ McCarron be able to come in and continue a really dominance for a Birmingham Stallions team that's been around for quite some time? And then you see teams that are gone. Showboats are gone. Other teams around the league are gone. So we'll see a new breed, a new blood. But UFC is starting to build a buzz, and it's very. I mean, I'm excited for the league. I enjoy the league. But spring football's creeping up, folks. Not too far away. All right, from the football, let's jump over to the squared circle. As we saw John Cena's final match last weekend. You got SmackDown tonight in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which will feature the Wyatt Six, which is Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, defending against MFT for the tag team. They've held the titles for roughly 3 months, about a 90% chance of winning in tag matches. That them being the Wyatt Six, by the way. And then what's next for Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre? I mean, we saw home invasion. This is getting crazy. Stipulation probably going to be revealed tonight. Now, McIntyre's won 15 of his 20 matches this year. Of course, Cody Rhodes is just on another level. Fallout from Saturday night's main event, right? We saw the invasion. What's next there? Drew McIntyre's been a guy that's just kind of been. He can't quite get it. He can't quite get it. He can't quite get it. It really is. It's been enjoyable watching him chase, which the chase is always much more fun to watch than the title run, in my opinion. And then we saw some other things take place. We saw LA Knight get smashed up, tsunami'd. We saw other things happen. What will happen next? WWE is really, I think, kicking things up. We saw the unveiling of the masked man, who was Austin Theory. I mean, this storyline's been around since 1910. But fun stuff in the WWE, and it's WWE is really enjoyable. AEW is doing really well right now too. We'll get more into AEW on Monday. I mean, Kennesaw State's just throwing the ball up for grabs. They're down 14-0 right now, as we talked about just a minute ago on the show. We updated the 7-point score, and we updated the 14-point score as well. All right, let's go over to college football. As we've got some very interesting things to take place here as we talk college football for probably about the rest of the show. Playoffs are underway. Couple of questions, and if anyone watching and listening, feel free to chime in the comments section. We appreciate everyone watching and listening, by the way. My question is this: can Kellen DeBoer quiet the noise and guide Alabama past Oklahoma? Question 2 is: has NIL transformed the game for the better? So let's dive into question 1, okay? So second year at Alabama for Kellen DeBoer. Lost 3 games last year, have now lost 3 games again this year. that is not the standard. We understand that. But I'm going to get into in just a minute as to why I believe this is happening, not just for Alabama, for other colleges across the nation. And this really is all stemmed from this morning. I'm sitting there watching ESPN, waiting on this football game to come on. And yes, I ingest sports media, yes, through ESPN and other ways. Yes, we all do. Okay. But I was watching and the question popped up and said, how unacceptable would an Alabama loss be tonight? And it just got me thinking. I understand this is Alabama. I get that, right? But you're the only three loss team to ever make the college football playoff. Ever. Now, I think we will continue to see this. I think it's going to become more prevalent as it grows, right? As we get into more teams, you're going to see 3 and 4 loss teams potentially making a playoff on a yearly basis. But you look at Kellen DeBoer, came over from Washington, gets Brian Grubb in this year, his offensive coordinator that was with him at Washington. Ty Simpson, tough as nails, really playing well. The problem with Alabama is they can't run the football. They can't run the ball, and that's something that if you're an Alabama fan, I know it's an issue. If you're a watcher of college football, if you ingest college football the way we do, it's an issue, and it's something that is not getting better for Alabama. Now, you look at it on the opposite side of things. Now, it doesn't. They have to go on the road to Norman. The entire state of Oklahoma over here is shut down, by the way, for tonight's game. College football playoff kicks off tonight. Oklahoma, Alabama, round 1. I love the home field. I love the fact that it's hosted on campuses. I think that is perfect. I think that is exactly what needs to be done. Western Michigan's driving. They're getting ready to score again. But you look at this game, and a lot of people are asking the question of, hey, is Kellen DeBoer coaching for his job? Is Kellen DeBoer happy in Tuscaloosa? Well, based on Kellen DeBoer's comments last week, and he directly addressed this and said, hey, I'm going to be here next year. I don't know what else you need to hear besides him say, I'm going to be here next year. Now, those reporters that continue to press him on it, and he continued to push back and say, hey, did you not just hear what I said? Like, I'm going to be here next year. But you take a football game that it's a college football playoff where a lot of coaches are on the move, right? Lane Kiffin's not in Oxford. I mean, coaches just about every. I mean, James Madison, Tulane. I mean, you look all across this playoff bracket. And there's coaches that are either would be there and are not there, or are there and won't be there when the game's over. But an inconsistent season, right? I mean, for Alabama, based on their standards. But then you throw in the swirl of Michigan and their head coaching vacancy, which I think is insane that Kellen DeBoer would even flirt with this. And I'm not saying that he is. Based on what everybody's saying. But let's not forget, there's not an acting president at Michigan right now. There's also an athletic director that is really treading water right now for his job. Now, is there, quote, serious interest in DeBoer for their head coaching vacancy? Hell yeah, there is. But is that being reciprocated based on what Kellen DeBoer has said? No. An Alabama win silences a lot of this, right? Because an Alabama win, you move on. And I mean, right now, they're projecting Bama's a 55% chance of winning the game. Kellen DeBoer's got playoff history success. We saw that with Washington that played for a national championship. But for Kellen DeBoer to leave and go to Michigan, if it does happen, it doesn't get any better for Alabama. It doesn't get any better for Michigan. And the reason I say this is because The NIL has made this available. The NIL has made this happen across college football. You look across, there's people out there that are complaining about coaches leaving, players leaving this school and going to this school. But you know what it's done? It's made college football evenly distributed across the country. There's a reason Alabama is losing 3 and 4 games now. And I talked about during the Army-Navy game different those teams are. But it's made college football better. It's promoting parity and player empowerment. And yes, people are going to say, Wes, player empowerment. There's too much free movement. There's too much movement in general. I agree. There needs to be a one-time transfer rule. But you know how people are getting around the one-time transfer rule? Their coach is leaving. That's how they're getting around it. Their coach leaves. Oh, I got to go. But 2025, 5 new playoff teams? Why is that? It's because of this right here. It's because of NIL. It's bigger crowds. People are paying more money to come watch these games. There's upsets all across the country. Could there be an upset tonight in Norman, Oklahoma? Who knows? If Alabama loses the game, then this speculation cranks up. What will he do? I mean, you look across the country. I mean, you saw Texas bring back Will Muschamp. I didn't even know that guy was still coaching. The Ohio coach was fired for off-season, off-field stuff. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I mean, I'm seriously asking this question. Like, what are we doing? Coach the football team. You're paid millions of dollars to do it. How do you get a DUI? You have millions of dollars. Get an Uber. And if you're Sherrone Moore, and I understand able to speak for himself, I made that statement last week. I respect that, okay? He has not had a chance to speak for himself. At least that I've seen anyway. But the reaction has caused your players to feel betrayal. And that's straight from Biff Poggi. You look at the transfer portal, we talk about it. We talk about how active it is. Josh Hoover's in it, TCU. Bo Prabula in it, Missouri. They can do that. It opens January 2nd. They can also still play in their bowl game if their teams allow that. But very incredible, man. I mean, packed plate today. But I do want to close with this. And then we saw, I want to touch on a tragedy that happened yesterday in NASCAR. We saw now former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle and his family were killed in a plane crash out in North Carolina. Biffle had a long and very successful career. Memorable Daytona win. Close. Thoughts and prayers are with family, friends, racing community as well. And there's one thing that with grief is this: everyone does it differently. Some people may be grieving and you don't know it. So when whenever we end the show and I say get up, be kind, and stay classy, I mean there's a serious tone to that. This is why. Because tragedy happens every day, folks. This life is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. For that matter, 10:30 a.m., 5 minutes away, is not promised. But his impact on the racing world will be felt forever. So prayers to the family. Definitely thoughts and prayers to the entire NASCAR nation. And then one more shout out before we close, man. Uh, as y'all know, we're heading back down to Mobile Senior Bowl. You're going to hear a lot about it here in the state of Arkansas, as we'll be covering all the Arkansas players specifically, but we're breaking our coverage into three different sections. Okay, three different areas of focus is what I want to call it. But you've got the Arkansas, and you've got Memphis. We're talking about Jake Golday, talking about Kerryon Crawford, um, Justin Jefferson from Alabama as well. Chris Adams is an invitee. He has not been accepted. He has not accepted it yet from Memphis offensive lineman. Then we're going to be looking at it from a national perspective, where we look at Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt. We'll look at Charles Demings from Stephen F. Austin as well. Roughly 9-10 players will be the focus of the week, as well as others, based on what happens throughout the week. But going to be a lot of fun. We've got a jam-packed week of events planned down there as well. But for everyone watching, listening, we appreciate it. Head over to 4star.live now. It's our website. We funnel everyone there. Head over there now for all of our content, both articles, podcasts, and more. But as for all of us here at 4 Star Sportsman, appreciate everyone watching. Appreciate everyone listening. Get up, stay kind, be classy, and stay hungry for sports, folks. Be good.